Is this going to be yet another Beaver Patriot video? Not today. Today, it's a Winnebago roof video. I'm back here over at Cassone's RV in Mesa, Arizona, because I had a viewer reach out to me concerning their 2007 Itasca Meridian that has a Winnebago roof that is delaminating. So let's go ahead and get this in the shop and into the shade and see what we can do to fix regularly occurring problem with Winnebagos. Now I got Micah that's gonna guide me into the bay here, and I wanted to change this up a little bit because we've done these jobs quite a bit together. Not sure we need to do a step-by-step process anymore, but Cassone's RV in Mesa, Arizona has started their own YouTube channel to help share their process and their experience outside of me. So I thought it might be fun for me to do a video and you guys can watch their video too. So the first thing we're gonna do, all right, Chad, I'm gonna show them the roof that we're dealing with first. Nothing wrong with it. Why are we even doing this job? All right, maybe that's not completely true. Right back here, somebody has used the wrong sealant. Remember, Winnebago uses self-leveling silicone and Dicor won't stick to it. And while you can't see it in between very easily, the roof is delaminated right there in between those two solar panels. We walk up front here. You'll see that skylight is cracked, so we'll have to replace that. And again, it doesn't look awful other than obviously the paint is peeling and the slide out topper is missing. And I do get comments a lot often about these little tiny cracks are in the pylon and what should be done about that. And I basically tell people not to worry about that. So then why are we worrying about doing an entire job? Well, over here is a big problem. And no, I'm not talking about the vent covers that have reached the end of their life too. You notice right here, there's a screw holding the roof down there and a screw holding the roof down there because this is all delaminated. This entire side all the way up to here. And while it's debatable whether or not we could fix it with the condition we see everything, I don't know if you can see right here, the owner added this strip of aluminum because this edge of pylon cut too short and it was popping out of the track right here. So I can't make the fiberglass any longer. So the plan is to replace this entire roof like we've done many times. We are going to save the air horns, the satellite dish, the TV antenna. We'll replace the refrigerator vent. We're going to lose that solar panel, replace these vents and the sewer vents. Obviously we need a new skylight, and we'll leave the solar panels on the roof. And oh, it was very, where was it? Oh yeah, it's very soft right here too. Very soft. Now luckily this is a short diesel pusher and there's no roof AC, so there's not too much to take off to the roof. But before we do that, what the crew over here at Cassone's and myself have decided to do a couple years ago on all roof replacements from Winnebago. 14 foot? 14 foot is right here. Okay. Alright, so we get some, what do you call these, jack studs? What do you call these?
Technically, they're used for
slide room supports. Slide out room supports. But you never use these for slide out rooms. Never. No. Never. So we're going to use this to support the ceiling on the inside. So with this, we're going to support the ceiling and the roof. So as we're working on it, we don't cause the arch on the ceiling to come out. There is no framing in the ceiling or the roof. It's all just styrofoam, right, Chad?
See, right there.
I know, I tried. Nobody ever believes me.
Yeah. Like
because who would build a roof that way? All right, we'll get the, you said this was at 9 foot?
No, this one's 14 1.
All right. These I-beam supports. Oh my gosh, you're so heavy, Chad. I'm just a little guy. All right, you can see I can extend this up. And we've taken the any downward pressure when we're walking up there from deforming the structure of the roof. So what are you doing now, Chad?
Cutting all the silicone out of here. Yes,
That's how you do it without breaking the antenna, because I think we're going to be reusing that one.
They always put a whole
lot of silicone holding that thing down. That's why I trust silicone. All right, so the next step, now that we have it supported underneath so the roof won't collapse, we're going to strip everything off the top of the roof. And before you know it, we'll be ripping the old roof off. Got this pretty much freed up, ready to take the front cap off once Chad gets around. Scissor lift certified. All right. Nice. Good job, Chad.
Did all by myself.
All by yourself. You feel bad making him struggle all by himself?
Not really. He left us up here.
It's true. He stranded us. All right, so we got everything taken off the top of the roof. You can see how loose the edge was, and I think it's also because this radius molding is also loose. There's also a problem. Right about there, you can see it loose.
Not detached.
And then also back over here, this is quite loose too. That should not be loose. Otherwise, all the components are off the roof, ready to rip everything off. We even have the front cap off. That was kind of fun. Chad Superman that thing off. And we're ready to go. All we have to do now is rip it up, pull the pylon off, and then start rebuilding it. Right, Chad?
That's right.
That's right. That's why we have the support down the middle. You can even see it right here. Beautiful. And you can see we're pulling the pylon off. It's just a sheet fiberglass, and it's glued to the Luan deck right here. And we're going to replace all of that, just like always. Right, Chad?
Right. Second to last piece, James.
I was promised it was the last piece.
We can leave this one on there because it's on one full sheet.
All right, it's been a fairly long day, but look at that. All the old pylon's been ripped off, and the next step's going to be to replace the Luan decking. I don't know how other shops do it without replacing the decking and just putting a new deck on top of it. Especially, I don't know how they do it without pulling the front and rear caps. It's very important on these laminated roofs that you get underneath the radius caps, but some other shops do it. What do you think, Chad?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Well, we have to stand behind it. We're not going to do it that way. Other shops can do whatever they want. Next step. Do Luan. Do Luan.
Wood.
Wood. All right, guys. Good morning for Cassone's RV yet again this morning. And I know I said next step was going to be to lay down new wood as a deck. But before we do that, and we have good access to the sidewalls, we need to go ahead and address this J channel right there that's loose, because that's going to damage the new roof, and we don't want that to happen. And because those are broken off in there, I'll just be taking these screw heads off, drilling new holes, and putting new screws in. Almost probably the entire length, because down there you'll be able to see a very similar problem, which is probably why the owner went ahead and added that strip of aluminum, because this whole track was loose. Makes you wonder why Winnebago decided to go to these Torx T20 screws for about a year, and how quickly they abandoned that idea. So that's going to be the next step. I'll probably just change out all those screw heads, because if half of them broke, the other half are going to break too. And I don't need to be responsible for Winnebago's failures. We got screws here anyways. Let's see. Ooh, oh, look at that. That one's broken. How about this one? Huh? That one's broken. That one's broken. So it's probably a good idea I'm changing out all these screws anyways. So I'll pre-drill my 3/16 hole that I made, and then there we go. What is that? At least 40 aside? That shouldn't take too long. And of course, while I'm doing this, I might as well prep this J channel. It might have been easier to take the whole thing off, but then I would have had to take the patio awning off. Get all the dirt that's in there. It's too broke free, and we'll get all that cleaned out. guess we know what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 hours, maybe, because the other side has to be done too. Alright, I think with that, all those screws have been replaced all the way down the line. I have piles and piles of broken screws. I mean, maybe not piles and piles of it, but quite a bit of them. And hopefully the other side will be just as easy. And there's no doubt this side needed to be done too. So if you have a Winnebago from 2007, good chance your roof is falling apart because the hardware broke. Well guys, looks like I'm bad at estimating because this is a box of 100 screws and I don't know, maybe there's 15 left. So a lot more screws than I thought there was going to be. There's a lot of dirt in that track. Alright, so the next step here at Cassone's is to pull off the old deck. We'll be doing these kind of one at a time. Unfortunately, this is the Winnebago style where they double-sided taped the edge down. So we will have to cut all that off too in order to get these off. But with those sides cut off, you can start peeling off the old deck pretty easily. So here's the new paneling, 2.7 millimeter utility paneling. RVs are made out of this utility paneling called Luan. Chad's gonna go ahead and cut up the panels to length, that way they fit in between the rails on the side. And then we'll be on the roof gluing them down. Chad just cut this down to size.
Sticker side down.
Sticker side down. We're gonna make sure that it fits in between the extruded ends with some room to spare on either side. I look good over here.
I got less than 8.
Oh, perfect. What a good measurement. Trevor did a good job.
Good cutters.
Good cutters. It's a good saw too. I'm glad you finally upgraded.
It's a Grizzly. Straight as an arrow.
All right, so Chad and I are double gunning this. He's doing the foam and I'm doing the wood. Saves a lot of time, and yeah, this is down pretty well. Chad, you want to try to pull on it or no?
This?
Yeah. Good. It's always the first one that's freaky, right?
Always the first.
Look at this. And you know what? All we have to do now is the rest of them. And just like that, it's done. So much easier this way. I recommend doing it with an edit. So the new deck is down, so now the next thing we have to do is obviously find the center line like we always do. The new roll of filings down the ground right there, we'll pull it up there, find the middle of that, and glue this thing down. Before you know it, it'll be a brand new roof on this 2007 Meridian. Before you guys know it, not me. Yeah.
Just make me do both sides.
All right.
On the last step, after I did all of the work.
All the work. All right, well, the new Phylon is on. It's a very simple job. Anybody can do this. Doesn't hurt at all. It's good on your back, good on your knees.
Oh yeah.
Next step, we're gonna see you on the sides. Good morning, guys. We successfully did get this roof laminated. Obviously, the next step is to trim the edges and tuck it in. We've gone through that quite a bit, so we're just going to skip ahead to that. Again, trimming this edge is the scariest part for me. Make sure you get it the right length, and of course, make sure that it tucks in correctly over here. Once that part is done, it's incredibly reassuring and allows me to finally relax.
You don't see any puckers?
Looks pretty good. Better than factory. All right, get this side laid out right here. I'll start cutting here. I'll meet Chad in the middle somewhere and we'll get the last one tucked in. Then it's gonna be fun.
Get my forearms to break.
All right, both sides are tucked in. We got most of the holes drilled out. Put the front rear caps on. And this job is gonna be done. Let's just get to that part. Just like that, it's done. You can see all the new sealant is oozing out there and gonna be curing in the sun here. And it's a really strong, a beautiful brand new roof. You did good work there, Chad.
You do too, James.
Thank you. We did manage to keep the original TV antenna and the dish network satellite dish they were requested. I always do recommend that lap sealant be used in between the front cap and the roof. Winnebago doesn't seem to like to do that. We did manage to replace both slide out topper fabrics that were missing before. We went with white because the customer didn't want to paint the roof on the radiuses right there. And then on the back right here, we did a few more upgrades.
Right.
Brand new vent covers. The customer did provide those. The rest of the vents have all been replaced. We did go ahead and replace the skylight. We chose not to go with the Winnebago $1,200 skylight. We went with the more generic one, but this one was from the better company, right?
Icon Direct.
Icon Direct. So much better skylight anyways back there. And then when it came to the solar panels back here, before they were staggered, and I wanted to fix that a little bit. So what I did was, or Chad and I did, we actually mounted them to the extruded aluminum that's on the side. So these are pretty well secured. And that actually would give the roof a little bit more strength back here anyway. Otherwise, up front, we did do one more thing that Winnebago didn't do. Well, it's not uncommon for me to add a couple extra screws on the front cap right here where it meets the sidewall. We added a lot more than 2 because that fiberglass had deformed so much that it was peeling away from the sidewall. And we didn't like that look. Otherwise, this doesn't have any roof ACs on it. Fairly straightforward job, a shorter diesel. The lamination went really well. The roof had not lost its shape, so we didn't have to add any trusses or do any foam work on this. Did great work there, Chad.
Thank you, sir.
All right. And I appreciate the crew and the team over here at Cassone's RV in Mesa, Arizona for allowing me to do another Winnebago roof job at their shop.
No problem.
Let me leave you with this little tidbit and tip. If you can figure out a way to do a Winnebago roof job with jump cuts and edits, it's the far superior and easy method. I recommend it. But the crew here, like I keep saying, there is no framing. There is no framing in there. I think these landscape timbers are going on 3 years old.
We've only used them once or twice.
A few times. It's a good investment. It's a good idea. Good.
This one might be in this last one.
No.
Okay.
It's my idea.
We're gonna fix it right now.
Really, more, it's your fault.
Well, I couldn't raise it up any higher other than hit the roof.
I think that's a very poetic way of saying it.
Got an excuse for everything. You know that?
Well, I know. We're an RV technician.
This is true.
It's never our fault.
Thought you were gonna help.
Well done.